Today is April 18th, 2024. I'm up at the Elm Ave Park. I'm going to start doing the vlogs again, I guess, maybe sometimes. So it's kind of a cool and rainy afternoon. Well, it's not raining now, but it was raining this morning, so I ended up busing it to work. Busy day at work. I always find ways to be busy. Especially now being the director of the data services unit, I really have a lot of different things to do, and I like to keep things moving along, and stuff I can get done myself and save some time on the people that work for me. I fear it's good, especially if I can do it programmatically versus line by line by hand. So yeah, haven't decided about this weekend if I'm gonna go out camping. I might do a quick overnight. It's been a few weeks since I've spent any time in the woods, and I like to get out in the woods, but it looks kind of cold and rainy and gray, kind of like this evening. And it might be windy too on Saturday, but it'll be nice to be out in the woods, have a fire and stuff. But we'll see. Other than that, just watching every day as they keep tearing apart my neighbor's apartment after he moved out. They're renovating it. Um, I still feel very uncertain about my situation where I live now because my apartment is quite run down because it's had very little work done on it over the past 16 or 17 years I've lived there. And I mean, it's been cheap, but at the same time, I don't want to lose the apartment and have to move somewhere else because probably wherever I move will be more expensive and might not even be as nice of a neighborhood. Um, I still want to build a house or build a cabin, an off-grid property where I eventually will want to live. But I just can't decide if I want to stay in New York or what I want to do. I mean, I love my job, I love what I do, but also the West's a lot bigger place, or even just so many other parts of America to explore. I feel like I've explored the Albany area in New York and Vermont and Pennsylvania and West Virginia a lot, but I've never explored the West, and I'm just always very enthralled about the different ways people look at the world compared to the Albany way. But yeah, I mean, the heck of it is, I feel like I'm closer than I've ever been before to buying land and building the cabin, but it's just a lot to figure out. There's a lot to learn about land. There's a lot to learn about building a building. Even if I'm not physically the one holding the hammer, you gotta, have to work with contractors and developers and all that. And I also have kind of mixed feelings about developing open space, even if my building would be very low impact to be rural. And the whole other issue that most places I like are quite a ways away from Albany, and it's just a long commute. I mean, I can probably do 30, 35 miles from Albany, but that's still a very long commute in the winter, especially if I have to work in the office 5 days a week. But yeah, I don't know, figuring it out step page by page. I'm doing a lot of reading, trying to learn everything I can, talking to people, watching YouTube. My library now has ebooks, which give you a lot of chance to find a lot of ebooks. And I'm also doing other stuff, reading and learning all the time that isn't just about land, because it gets tiring to read just constantly about construction and land and developing property and off-grid stuff. I mean, it's a lot. And then there's the whole money situation, just trying to figure out how to cash out stocks and bonds and stuff and not have to pay so much in taxes, or if I at least do got to pay a lot of taxes, know how much my liabilities are going to be. I got to talk to a CPA to figure that out. I still try to figure out. I got to talk to some people to try to figure out who would be a good place to work, who would be a good person to work with. I mean, already my tax liabilities have grown a lot. I mean, I owed about, I think it was about $1,300 in between state and federal taxes because I underpaid last year. Fortunately, I only got fined $7 by the feds, and I didn't get fined anything by the state. I thought I was going to owe a state a fine, but I made a mistake on my tax forms, and I overpaid, but they only deducted the correct amount, so it worked out to be fine. But yeah, just a lot that I'm trying to figure out, and then taking over as director of data services, there's a lot to learn there, and there's a lot to just nonstop going on there. I mean, data is a fascinating work. I mean, it can be very what do you call it? Very particular. A lot of just kind of reading through lines and lines of data and querying it, and doing a lot of clever things too. I mean, that's kind of what I find fun is that, you have these challenging problems. People bring up to you and say, how can we do this? How can we do this efficiently? And then you have to think about it and how to query it. Or I've been really trying to expand the abilities of using data to better target things to better get people's messages out, and been developing a lot of really cool stuff on that basis. And then I've been neglecting both my blog and the Save the Pine Bush website. I did fix the mapping software, which has been broken for way too long. I gotta clean up the web pages, put a new theme on there for the new year, and hopefully we're gonna have a new Save the Pine Bush newsletter coming out soon. And there's just all that going on, and then just everything, just my own life, trying to figure out what to do. I mean, I feel terribly insecure about my housing situation, which seems silly because I have quite a bit of money in the bank. I mean, I could potentially build, buy land, build my own house with the resources I have right now. So I don't have to look at getting a mortgage, although I did go through all the process of looking at it when I started looking at a conventional house. But it's very dissatisfied what you find on the market. I mean, everything is, these enormous houses. Most of them don't have much land associated with them. And, people often design houses to be pretty, and have all like the marble and the vinyl siding and stuff. And I just hate all that plastic crap and fake stuff. Um, but I do like. I've been looking at cabins, and cabins are really beautiful. Both the wood inside and the wood outside, and heat with wood. But I also want to have enough land. But I try to figure out how much land I want, how much I should pay for it. Those are all real tough decisions. And do if I want to really stay in New York. My thoughts on the burn ban, my thoughts on guns and gun rights and how things are in New York. But yeah, but it's tough to leave New York when I've built so much of my career and doing great stuff, and I love my job. But got to figure it out step by step. I just try to learn everything I can. I don't want to get swindled. Don't want to make a bad deal when I buy land or build the property and lose a whole bunch of money on it by doing something stupid. I want to have everything fully researched. I mean, I have great data and GIS skills, so that helps a lot. I mean, I often know a lot more about property before I even walk on it or even talk to a realtor than probably the realtor knows. Even though they'll have more experience, obviously the selling and some of the technical people and procedures they need to go through. Although I've been reading a lot about that. But with GIS stuff, I know all about the land cover, the elevation, the lidar, exactly what acreages are of what kind of cover, where all the stone walls are and stuff. It's great stuff you can do with GIS. I haven't been doing as much GIS or our studio stuff lately because just work has been everything. And when I get done with work with all the data, last thing I want to do is look at more data and do more data processing. But yeah, that's where things are. It's gonna get dark. It's getting dark out. It's starting to rain. I probably should finish up my walk, head home. I might bake bread tonight. I don't know. I'm kind of tired of bread. I've made too much bread lately. But get some sleep because I didn't sleep very well last night. I don't know why. I do know why. I was watching a documentary on, or I guess it was a online class about statistical programming, and I was doing some e-reading, and there was just a lot of blue light, and I think that impacted me, and I've been drinking too much coffee. But I think things will get better. I'm looking forward to the summer. I'm looking forward to trying to figure out. I hope I don't get kicked out of my apartment right away. I mean, my lease is month to month, but it seems like the landlord's been fairly friendly ever since we got worked out a way to send him checks. And seems like if he's happy, if I pay the increased rent and move forward from there, I still my apartment, be able to bike to work or bike the bus to work. It's the cheapest place to live, and the energy costs are low, fuel costs are low. It's not a great place. It has a lot of issues, but as witnessed by the fact that the unit next door, he completely gutted it. But step by step, I will get to that place I want. I will eventually have land. I will build that house or the cabin that I want. But in the meantime, I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to do some camping, some traveling, and trying to just learn everything I can and make good decisions. I want to check out some of the prefab cabin places. I want to learn more about different places that build build such properties and things like that, because I'm not really a construction person, but I certainly can work with data and work with people who know how to work a hammer. Well, we're over 10 minutes now, so I probably should shut this off, and it's getting quite dark out, so I better start heading home. I'll see you, everyone.